WTF!
Mwah! Good afternoon, evening, morning. Hello everybody, I'm Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com, one half of your Cultaholic Heavyweight Champion, because at last night's TLC pay-per-view, myself and Adam Pacitti, we drew 8-8. So we are sharing custody of this golden child. So with my golden child watching from the sidelines, welcome to all these WTF moments from TLC 2018, a show which I thought was really pissing fun. We had some fun, we had some gruesome spots involving tables, ladders and chairs and kendo sticks and Ronda Rousey, but who the hell saw Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins being the piss break match, a long, drawn-out piss break match of the night? Not me. How weird. Let's go. To the kickoff show we go into an advert which I believe is the worst thing I've seen since that cockwomble there. Let's just run through the lyrics of this advert because they're pissing painful, like an uncle trying to fit in with the kids. You know what time it is. Time for some TLC, yeah? Y'all already know what's going down. Tables, ladders, chairs. You cross the ropes, you hit the ground. Tables, ladders, chairs. Drop it. Bring the whole squad for a fun day. Tables, ladders, chairs. December 16th, that's a Sunday. Tables, ladders, chairs. And if that last line there does not tell you that 103-year-old Vince McMahon wrote that little ditty to try and fit in with the kids, while also trying to remind himself when TLC actually was, I don't know what will. Well then, it looks like the arena for last night's show was not James cordoned off at any point, which is a good thing, on 2 counts. First of all, that must mean that WWE have managed to put an arse in just about every single seat, and second of all, that's the only pissing time ever you'll hear James Corden's name mentioned in a positive sentence. Because he's an arse. And next up we have Sam Roberts saying we have 2 men determined to be the future of the company, while that screen there was showing on the screen. Now of course we all know that Becky Lynch has all of our futures in the palm of their hands, because figuratively speaking, she is the man, but Charlotte or Asuka, who's got a willy? Tea time. Now I know that Booker T will have been told to say this by the powers from above, but I'm putting all the blame on his shoulders just so that Tune with a capital CH can make a comeback to these lovely videos. Booker T claims that the first man to grab a guitar in the Elias versus Bobby Lashley match wins the match, and that's not what we've been told now, is it? In the build-up to last night's show, we were told that Elias versus Bobby Lashley was going to be a guitar on the pole match, but without the pole, the first person to get a guitar gets to use it, but doesn't win the match, so we all know what's gone on here, don't we? Bro, that's not how a guitar on a pole match works, because I live with my head 20 years in the pissing past. I'm an arsehole called Vince Russo. Yes, that definitely happened. Now I cannot believe this happened, but here is a direct quote from Booker T on the pre-show to TLC 2018. It goes back to the woman. You've got to take care of the woman. The African accent from TNA made a comeback in 2018, and I just don't know anymore. And not only that, but in one fell swoop, Booker T managed to grab all of the narrative that Daniel Bryan has been building up for the past few weeks, put it in a lovely bow, and then put it right on Brie Bella's shoulders. Booker, she can get herself hated enough on her own. She doesn't need you telling us a different story to the one that WWE are actually telling us. Yes. Tea time. So according to Booker T, this business has no time for friends if you want to get to the top. But while running down the attack on Braun Strowman a few weeks ago on Raw, Booker T also claims there's time for pals and buddies. So you got no time for friends, but you've got time for pals and buddies. Never mind, it all goes back to the woman, Booker T. You, pal, you need to go back to the asylum. Now I've got a bone to pick with Kayla Braxton. For some reason, she started saying excuse me at the start of every single interview she does, despite the fact that all of the interviews she does are set up to be interviews. It's a consensual conversation, Kayla. As well-managed as you might think you're biggin', you don't need to ask for permission when you've clearly already got permission. And next up we have that waste of absolutely everything David Otunga claiming he has one word to describe Becky Lynch while watching her on that pre-show last night, and that word is swagger. Huh? Exactly. Well, they've wasted their money, haven't they? You might as well have paid to see Brutus the f***ing Barber Beefcake in WWE in 2018. Just as likely to happen. Try this concept on for size. Bobby Lashley hit his finisher to a ladder to drop the ladder onto Elias. For some reason, Bobby Lashley held a ladder so uncomfortably on his shoulder like this, went wha-bam, took a bump when he could have just stood there, held the ladder above his head, dropped it, it would have caused a lot more damage, wouldn't it? You know those things that sound great on paper but not in practice? That's one of them. Maggle, 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 maggle. Spine buster to the ladder, he says. That couldn't be more of a powerbomb if it tried, Maggle. Lio Rush falling off the top of the ladder and selling his injuries rather than standing straight back up and killing the business single-handedly. That's growth. Well done, Leo. To the main show we go, and we kick things off with Bear Cultaholic signs. Thank you very much to Scruffy0225, Javan J, The Source Sorcerer, and Ray Cruz for spreading the good name of Cultaholic throughout the WWE Universe. Next time you go to a show, do what they do. So next up we have Maggle Cole claiming that one of the most interesting things about the Mixed Match Challenge is the comment section, before claiming that one WWE fan said, Jinder Mahal and Captain Foxy, they don't stand a chance, while apparently another fan said, the truth is here, Mella is money, this is their time. Now I've been standing here, just above the comment section, for almost 3 years at this point, and Maggle Cole, what you've just said there is absolute bollocks. But while we're here talking about this match, don't you dare scoff at it, dear viewer, because we've got former NWA World Heavyweight Champion R-Truth teaming with former SmackDown Live Women's Champion Carmella, who are going up against former WWE Champion Jinder Mahal and former Divas Champion Alicia. Titles everywhere. Not as good as this one, but titles everywhere all the same. One question, would you rather have a kick in the dick or a punch in the dick? And of course, I'm making this a WTF moment because WWE actually asked David Otunga to come back to commentary, despite the fact he failed so miserably during the early stages of SmackDown Live. We all know where he should be, of course. Law School Mountain. Piss off! I'm going to have to read my notes to get this one correct, everybody. We have Jimmy Uso, who blind tags Kofi Kingston. Cesaro and Jimmy then hit a rockerplex on Kofi, and then Jimmy pins Kofi, even though it's he and Cesaro who are the legal men. Mike did a whoopsie. But then we have Kofi Kingston, who stays in the ring to wrestle for a long time, despite the fact he was clearly tagged out and not the legal man anymore. And this all boils back down to Jimmy Uso, who tagged the wrong man seemingly when the producers were putting that match together. But that's fine, of course, because these triple threat matches, they're chaos, aren't they, commentators? So we're going to let them off, don't we? So next up, we have the match that's going to shape the next few months of storylines at the very top level on WWE Raw. In one corner, one man fighting for his job. If he wins, his reign of terror continues. If the other man wins, he goes to the Royal Rumble to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. High stakes, a monumental, earth-shattering occasion. On the card third, 35 minutes into the show. Oh, WWE! WWE has many silly tropes, doesn't it? One of them, of course, is a superstar freezing in the middle of the ring when somebody else's music plays. Why did Heath Slater stop counting Braun Strowman when Braun Strowman's music hit? He was at 7 and he clearly would have got past 10 by the time a big sweaty man got his way down the ramp. That was the single biggest count in recent Raw history, Heath. You weren't trying to win a pissing game of musical statues, man, because the music stopped and Heath went... So we have a couple of questions about that TLC match between Big Baldy Bastard Baron Corbin and everybody else on WWE Raw. First of all, why the hell wasn't Vince McMahon the one in the ring getting his arse handed to him? And second of all, since this was no disqualification and anybody could have got involved, where the hell was Bobby and Drew McIntyre to help Big Baldy Bastard Baron Corbin? That poor old bald prick is essentially a used tampon at this point. He's being used, but now he's been thrown to the side into the trash with his friends turning their back on him. Yes, tampons do have friends. What the hell have I just said? Oh, it's the moment we've all been waiting many months for, Renee Young. You've done it now. You've gone and made a big mistake. And I can't allow you to think you can just walk away. I've got my hands on some footage. And with that footage, I have created a thing. Play the thing.
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee. What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
Aye, Renee Young, she whips and she nay-nays, and she also claims that Vince McMahon is a very smart man who would not reverse the decision to remove General Manager Baron Corbin from his general managership. Aye, Renee, you go and watch 2 of the last 3 WWE Raws, shows that Vince McMahon has written himself from top to bottom apparently, and come back and say that McMahon's lost the plot. Michael Cole, Silicone Valley, silicone, it says silicone right there, there's no plastic in sight, it's silicone, you dirty little man. And sticking with Maggle, we now have the fact that he seemingly forgot that Natalya's relationship to the Hart family is through her mother and not through Jim Neidhart. You see, if Jim didn't marry Mother Natalya and then Mother Natalya produced Natalya, Natalya wouldn't be in the Hearts now, would she, Maggle? Don't forget that.
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
So now according to Renee Young, the Riott Squad have a punk rock attitude. And if CM Punk and Corey Graves has taught us anything, punk rock means do it yourself. And you can't do that when you're travelling threes, Renee, now can you? Liv Morgan, More like dead, Morgan. That, my pals, is a bump there that even the likes of Jeff Hardy would be going, whoa now, steady on, settle down. Ooh, that there's bad. Because if you have a table with my dead dad on, I'll put a table with your picture on. And ooh, that'll get you. I mean, this was all just set up so the commentators could go, oh, how the tables have turned. Wrestling's pathetic, isn't it? And who the hell do those glasses belong to? We saw Jim Neidhart's get snapped a while ago, but now they're apparently magically fixed. Or Jim had more than one pair, and Natalya was shown to have overreacted when Ruby Riott broke one of the pairs. Wrestling's so pathetic, isn't it? Dun, 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 dun. We all saw it, didn't we? Why the hell did Kevin Dunn keep showing that replay box thing time and time again? Well, I'll know. I've got sources backstage at WWE, don't I? Kevin Dunn's teeth have grown, therefore his head is always in a pendulum motion, and the teeth will hit the button time and time again. And next up we have Michael Cole, who seemingly truly believes that Bálor Club's calling card is too sweet. Let's forget about the NWO. Let's forget about Bullet Club. Let's live in a world where, and that's the bottom line because Low Key said so, is a thing. And if you smell what the Shannon Moore is cooking, the household sayings aren't the Michael. Just be more aware of the world around you, Michael Cole, and you won't end up with my proverbial piss in your face as much as you do. What? As we all know, the old saying goes, it tain't over till it's over. And for Rey Mysterio's taint, it's now all over. And next up we have Michael Cole claiming he loves that type of humour when talking about Edge and Christian show that totally reeks of awesome on the WWE Network for only $9.99. Free 1 month. And that simply can't be true because over the past 21 years, Michael Cole has displayed time and time again that he likes no kind of humour whatsoever. What he likes is screaming names and phrases. The big dog, it's boss time. Ronda! Here's a direct quote from Michael Cole, who, as you're seeing by now, had a really bad Western Supermare at last night's TLC pay-per-view. This time he said Nia, with the full weight of her body on Nia Jax there. What on earth are you talking about, Michael? Of course Nia Jax is always going to have the full body weight of Nia Jax on her body. What do you think she is? A Marvel superhero masher Spider-Man figure with attachable limbs?
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
Direct quote from Renee this time. It's not the fight of the dog, it's the size of the dog, not the size of the dog. You see, WWE, this is what it's like when you take a talented broadcaster like Renee Young and then make her say no more than 3 words every time she opens her mouth on WWE Raw. When she has the chance to say more than 3 words, she acts as if she's pissed as a fart. Hang on a second now, this is getting a bit too funny for my liking. First of all, we have Colonel McSweaty Bollocks being crowned the best in the world at Crown Jewel months and months after I started calling them best in the world. And now we have Daniel Bryan saying he's going to change the leather on his WWE Championship strap for a vegan alternative. WWE. First of all, made a grave mistake, Corey. Corey Graves, you've jumped the gun. He hasn't done it yet. He was going to do it after he defeated AJ Styles at last night's TLC pay-per-view. Watch the promo on me Twitter at Ross on Wrestling. Secondly, justice for Daisy. If you know, you know. And thirdly, WWE, if you want to give me a job, just ask and I'll say no because I'm one half of the Cultaholic Heavyweight Champion. Made a grave mistake. Another show, another glaring example of Corey Graves doing what he thinks is some great heel commentary work when he's actually doing what Daniel Bryan really pissing hates. Oh, he inspired me to get a solar panel on my house next week. Oh, environmental friends. Fickle. So then, we continue our way to see how long Corey keeps this up before he realises this is not what he should be doing. And now we have a direct quote from David Otunga. I used to ride with him, Daniel Bryan. He didn't drink, he didn't have fun, he didn't eat meat. David Otunga, what kind of sick and kinky games were you up to while you were pissed as a fart and eating meat? Do not answer that, I don't want to know. Made a grave mistake, Corey. And now we have a direct quote from Corey Graves himself. So like when Dean came home for dinner, what kind of temperament did he have? Oh, sorry, I meant Rollins. Has Corey Graves really just sat there and hinted that Renee Young might be diddling, in the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast sense of the word, of course, both Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins at the same time? She's cheating on Dean, is she, Corey? You filthy bastard. More quotes from ringside. This time I'm paraphrasing because by this point I couldn't be asked to write them all down in full. This time we have Corey Graves saying something on the lines of, Seth Rollins hasn't given anybody the time of day today. I've never seen him so focused. And then we have Michael Cole replying to that sentence, or Seth Rollins, Corey. You've known him for most of your career here and he hasn't been the same either, has he? Now I've got to ask, was my irony meter, yes, irony meters, they're a real thing, was mine the only one going radio rental when Renee Young said to Corey Graves, how would you like to sit at home with a staph infection on a couch? No? CM Punk in your mind too? We're on the same level, aren't we, wank pheasants? The bloody headwear going on in that shot there, man. A Santa's hat, fair enough. It's December, it's nearly Christmas. But a middle-aged man with spectacles, with a hat on that says moist? Get in the bin, will you? Here's a stat I've written down there. TLC becomes the first ever co-branded pay-per-view since the brand split, all the way back in 2016, to feature a SmackDown Live match in the main event. What more needs to be said? We all heard it, didn't we? I've got to point it out. Next up, we have Becky Lynch, who was screaming, "Closer, closer, 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 closer," as she was sat on the top turnbuckle, readying herself to ask her to do something horrible to her Irish bum. But of course, there's a reason for this, and it completely makes sense. For years, John Cena was the man in WWE, and for years, every single person watching one of his matches heard him call every single spot involved in those matches. So Becky, last night at TLC, in an effort to establish herself as the man of today, is just doing what John Cena did for 15 pissing years. If it worked for John Cena for 15 years, why can't it for Becky? Slap my arse now and call me Gertrude. Becky Lynch landing arse first on the stomach of Charlotte Flair from the top of a ladder has to be one of the most gruesome bumps we've seen in 2018. And by doing that, of course, Becky must have crushed Charlotte's womb. And not only that, but Charlotte Flair somehow got up from this horrible bump and did many arse-kicking moves she simply shouldn't have been able to do. She's an animal. Ronda, James, Cuthbert, Rousey, as I stand here with my child in my arms, all is forgiven. You can like all the tweets you can like, interfering in that main event match last night and probably setting up a WrestleMania 35 main event with Charlotte and Becky. Do we want that? Things can change, but that looks like the way they're going, doesn't it? I'm alright with it. But Ronda, thank you, because in doing that, you saved my arse and gave me a child for the first time in my life. I'm a fickle bastard, aren't I? Daniel Bryan, you can suck my chebs, because I am one half of the Cultaholic Heavyweight Champion. Thank you very much for watching these WTF moments from TLC 2018. I've been Ross from Cultaholic.com, and let's be honest, I'm cool as piss right now, aren't I? Good show, wasn't it? I enjoyed it. I hope you had fun too. Follow me on Twitter at Ross on Wrestling. Pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Any thought to give us, we greatly appreciate it, and we'll love you forever. But most importantly of all, do not forget to subscribe to this illustrious YouTube channel. Yes, we passed 400,000 subscribers twice, because we're cool. And join us